The expulsion from Moscow, 1727. In 1727, under the rule of Empress Catherine I of Russia, a decree was issued expelling Jews from Moscow. This directive was part of a broader pattern of systemic discrimination against Jewish communities under the Tsarist regime. For the Jews living in Moscow, many of whom were merchants, artisans, and tradespeople, the expulsion marked a devastating chapter in their struggle for survival and inclusion in Russian society. The roots of the expulsion. The expulsion was fueled by deep-seated anti-Semitism that permeated both the state and the church. Jewish merchants were often perceived as rivals to local traders, and their economic success bred resentment among the non-Jewish population. Religious leaders amplified these tensions, spreading prejudices that painted Jews as outsiders, unworthy of living in the imperial capital. These sentiments were seized upon by officials looking to consolidate control and remove perceived threats to social and economic order. The decree, in April 1727, Catherine I signed a decree mandating that all Jews residing in Moscow leave the city within 3 months. This applied to Jews of all social statuses, from wealthy merchants to impoverished workers. Failure to comply resulted in severe punishments, including the confiscation of property and imprisonment. The decree disrupted lives overnight, forcing families to abandon homes, businesses, and communities they had built over decades. The forced exodus, the expulsion, uprooted entire families and shattered Jewish networks in Moscow. Many Jews sought refuge in nearby territories such as Poland and Lithuania, where established Jewish communities provided some degree of safety. However, the sudden influx of refugees strained resources in these regions, creating tensions with the existing populations. For those who remained in Russia, life became increasingly precarious. Some Jews disguised their identities, converting to Christianity or living in secrecy to avoid detection. These individuals lived in constant fear of being discovered and punished, their survival hinging on their ability to conceal their true faith. Wider implications. The 1727 expulsion was not an isolated event, but part of a larger cycle of exclusion and persecution. The Pale of Settlement, established later in the 18th century, confined Jews to specific territories, further marginalizing them from Russian society. In cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, Jews remained prohibited from settling for much of the imperial era. The expulsion also symbolized the Tsarist regime's broader attempts to control minority populations through legal discrimination. While Jews were forced out of Moscow, other minority groups faced similar restrictions, highlighting a pervasive culture of exclusion. A legacy of resilience, the 1727 expulsion is remembered as a dark moment in the history of Russian Jewry. Yet, it also serves as a testament to the resilience of Jewish communities. Despite the hardships they faced, Jewish culture and traditions endured, adapting to the ever-changing realities of persecution and displacement. The story of the expulsion from Moscow is a stark reminder of the dangers of prejudice and the importance of tolerance. While the Jews were stripped of their homes and livelihoods, they carried with them a legacy of strength and determination that continues to inspire today. Their struggle underscores the enduring human quest for dignity and justice in the face of oppression.